Hi, this is Kerry Artak with Wicked Stocks, bringing you your daily Tesla report for Tuesday, April 2nd, 2024. Let's jump into the charts. I start with the big picture, work my way into the day itself. This is the big picture, a weekly bar chart going back several years, and you can see how we are trading inside the confines pretty well of an 8-month channel top that stems, or channel structure, I should say, descending channel structure that stems off the July high of last year. We tested the top that is presently at 240.93 the last week of December. At the time, we were mentioning how the channel bottom should be considered attainable within 2 to 3, 3 to 5 months. That became clearly anticipated when we settled below an unlabeled and actually, we didn't show here on this chart, but a rising series of channel bottoms that we broke several weeks later. In any event, we did test the channel bottom. We came very close to within the 1% zone a couple of months ago, and then about a month ago, 3 weeks ago, not only did we test the 161.40 channel bottom, but we also settled below it by the required 1% margin. Then on a Friday afternoon, setting off a long-term sell signal. The following Monday morning, we gapped right back above it. That failure to follow through, that rejection of a long-term sell signal, in essence, a valid sign of strength as we move over the near to mid-term time frames. And what that means is 3 to 5 week rally into the 190s, 190.164 to 198.55. 190.164, a simple channel top. 198.55, a trend-defining descending 1/3 speed line that is based in part on the July high of last year against that low that was put out almost a month ago. And so this is really our 3 to 5 week swing trade, buying the low 160s, selling the low 190s up into the upper 190s, and either way, setting a short in the lower 190s into the upper 190s in anticipation of bearish rotation into the lower 160s, and going long in the lower 160s in anticipation of bullish rotation into the 190s. Over the following 3 to 5 weeks, we could fill this descending wedge out for the next month or two before the market tips its hand in one direction or another. The odds favor tipping to the upside. Closing above 198.55, but not by a significant degree. We could close below 161.40, even at the end of this week, perhaps. I'm not expecting it. I'm just saying it's not as if I'm expecting an eventual settlement above 198.55. Let the market present that to us. If we close below 161.40, that is a sell signal through the rest of the second quarter. And under that scenario, I would really want to see the market not only close below the 161.40 channel bottom, but also below the low that was put out about a month ago at 160.51. So it is a narrow area, about 90 cents wide, that if settled below, if on Friday we close below 160.51, I would expect then several months bearish continuation to the 101.81 low from January of 23. This could be decent bottom picking territory, but there are other things going on in this vicinity that I'll be showing as well that are a little bit lower than 101.81. But I think we can say that closing the week below 160.51 does present 101.81 as a 2 to 3 month downside objective. No good reason to be long Tesla, in my opinion, if we close the week below 160.51. Until then, that is your bottom picking territory. 161.40, the beginning thereof, able to contain selling, not only on a daily basis, weekly basis, but even a monthly basis, perhaps even on a quarterly basis. Yes, there is a certain case to be made that holding above 161.40 will keep the 240.93 channel top in reach over the next 3 to 5 months. And I think you can make that within 2 to 3 months if over the next few weeks this market can close above the descending 198.55 1/3 speed line. Then we have a 2 to 3 month rally to what is it now, 240.93 and dropping. That is the big picture. Now let's move on to the day itself, and I will show what will I show? I will show this channel bottom that the market definitely violated on Monday by a significant margin, but did not close below it. And so, the jury is still out as to whether we can expect a retest this week of that 162.63 channel bottom. Once again, the daily channel bottom is going to be a slightly different level than the weekly at 161.40. So that is your range that begins at 162.63. If we happen to, I could say, merely open open below 175.83 should yield 169.58 within the day. That is a downside 5/8 Fibonacci over the last several weeks activity from that March low against the more recent late March high. 162.63 in reach today. If we break, then 169.58. Now, I don't show 169.58, but it's very close to Monday's low of 170.21. So once again, if we break, but opening would be a more decisive indication for 175.83 being day resistance that can contain perhaps buying pressures for the day, and below which 169.58 is likely. That is the downside 5/8. That is a level that can incur some degree of a bounce. We could bounce off of 169.58 back to 175.83 on an intraday basis. If we break 169.58, I do think 162.63 is likely today. And that is once again the beginning of a zone of support on the weekly chart down to 161.40 that can absorb selling pressures for the week through April even, and perhaps through all of the second quarter. Once again, I gave you the consequences for a weekly settlement Friday below 160.51. Doesn't look good for those who are long. You should be short as we move into the later second quarter following a weekly settlement Friday below 160.51. And now for the upside, if we happen to push or open today above 170.83, especially an open. Now, I don't have it as a minor point, but just know that 176.75 was Monday's high. And if we can open gap higher opening above Monday's 176.75 high, I do think the day looks bullish. To 183.06, that is an area that we actually tested last week, pushed through it a bit, fell away. That is actually in reach today. If we push, especially if we open not only above 175.83, but I'll also say 176.75. Now, if we open today above 175.83, I still see that as constructive, and I do think 183.06 shouldn't be discounted as a possible intraday objective. And then overall, if we get to pull out of here, and once again, we do not have a sell signal, a short-term sell signal, as I've been mentioning. If we were to close below 175.83, we would have a short-term sell signal over the next several days to 162.63. Until then, we can rally out of here, and in fact, it is possible, not today, but over the next few days, we could see not only 183.06, but 188.03 is our new rising channel top. So closing above 175.83. If you bought that level on Monday and you're still long, just know that you want to see the market close above 175.83 today. And I think you could stay long through the rest of the week. I've been mentioning this as a 3 to 5 day swing trade possibility. And I do think over the next 3 to 5 days, we could reach the 188.03 formation, which is by the end of the week, converging anyway with 193.47. Remember at the beginning of this video, I mentioned how the 190s remain a 2 to 3, 3 to 5 week target following the rejection of that sell signal almost a month ago. So that 191.94 channel top on the weekly chart is the same exact channel that you find here on the daily chart at 193.47. And once again, I'll say it one more time, if we close today above 175.83, we closed above this formation by a hair on Monday. If we keep closing above it, this market should continue up over the next 3 to 5 days to 193.47. That is your 3 to 5 day swing trade to the upside. And I'm just hunting around here for levels. I don't see it today, but if we close today above 183.06, we should tomorrow reach 188.03. So once again, a pivot point this week through the rest of the week. 175.83, as unpretty as it is, I don't like it when they violate like that on an intraday basis, but we did close above it. And as long as we continue closing at or above that formation, I see the 193.47 formation as likely by over the next 3 to 5 days by the end of next week. And if we close below 175.83, we are set over the next day or two to retest a long-term support in the 162.63 down to the 161.40 level. I think that I've said it all. I'm going to leave it at that. Please click like, share, subscribe. Check out wickedstocks.com. We offer 2 stock picks a week. You can see for free with our 5-day free trial. I'll be back tomorrow with Wednesday's Tesla report. You have a great day.